guys, I'm Lauren Vitale, and in this episode of Lauren in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make stuffed cabbage rolls. Now, this recipe is really delicious. It was given to me by my friend's mom years ago, and I'm really excited to share the recipe with you. It is really, really good and super easy, of course. Now, let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. I need some ground beef. I've got a shredded carrot, some chopped parsley, garlic, onion, cooked white rice, egg, some panko breadcrumbs, brown sugar, some red wine vinegar, your favorite homemade marinara sauce, some salt and pepper, and of course, cabbage. Now, please don't think that I'm saying this is the traditional way to make, this is the way it's done. No, it's not. There's so many different variations of it. I love this recipe. It was given to me by my friend's mom, like I mentioned, and when I would go over her house, she would make it, and I don't even want to know. I don't even want to say how to pronounce it. I think they're like called glumpies or glumpies. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but they were delicious, and I always looked forward to going to her house because I knew she would make them. So I got the recipe from her, and now I'm sharing it with you. Now let's get started. Now what I've got here is a large pot filled with water, and that's coming up to a slow boil. Now I've got a good head of cabbage here. I've taken off a couple of the outer leaves because they weren't that great. And now I'm just going to take the core right out. I'm just cut into it. Cut it all around, dig in and dig it out. So now that you have that, this needs to go into the boiling water, which I'm going to pop it in right now. It's slowly boiling. It's not rapidly boiling, but that's okay. Whoa, that's going to water overboard. That's okay. That just needs a good 3 to 4 minutes or until it softens. So I'm going to let that go and get started on the filling. The filling is really, really simple and, of course, easy. I'm just going to take some ground beef. I'm going to put everything in a big bowl. I've got the shredded carrot, the onion, the garlic. I love the carrot. It adds lovely sweetness. And now for the sauce, she always used a jar of prepared marinara sauce, and she always added brown sugar and vinegar to it because it's that sweet and sour balance in there that's goes so well. Obviously, it's kind of traditional from what I heard. And I do it the same way. The only difference is I make my own tomato basil marinara, which you can get the recipe on laureninthekitchen.com, and that's that. You're gonna need some rice. I just cook up 1/3 of a cup of regular long grain rice, and that will give me 1 cup of cooked rice because you're gonna need 1 cup of cooked rice. You can also use brown rice in this as well. So just cook up 1/3 of a cup of rice into 2/3 of a cup of water. It's always a 2-to-1 ratio, and that'll work just fine. The egg, and now this is panko breadcrumbs. She uses regular breadcrumbs. I use panko because they're like a Japanese style breadcrumb, and they're not as, they don't make the filling as compacted as regular breadcrumbs because they're really, really light. So that's why I use that. So then just season this with some salt and pepper. There we go. And I'm just gonna go in there with my hands and mix everything together. And by the time I'm done, the cabbage should be ready and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So I've got my filling done. My cabbage was in a boiling water for about 5 minutes. I just flipped it through halfway only because my pot wasn't big enough to submerge it completely. But hey, what are you gonna do? Now I'm gonna work on the sauce. I've got here my marinara sauce, which is my favorite, tomato basil marinara. I'm gonna add in some red wine vinegar for that nice little tang, and brown sugar. Give this a good mix. You want to make sure you cover yourself in marinara sauce, and you also want to make sure the vinegar and the brown sugar are distributed well throughout. Now I'm just going to take half of this, pour it into the bottom of a large pot or a Dutch oven. All right, that's ready. Let's get rocking and rolling. So your leaves should come out really, really easy. The first couple ones are always a bit wonky, but that's okay. Cut out that big rib in the center, only because that's extremely tough. And then you just take a good spoonful, about a 1/4 cup, of your meat mixture. Try to get it like that. I actually think you could use a little bit more just because that leaf is just gigantor. All right. Tuck it all in and just roll it like you are rolling a burrito. And then you put it cut side down right there. And I'm just going to keep rolling these babies out, and I'll show you what they look like once they're all done. Last one. Don't worry if they don't all fit perfectly in one layer. All right, let's pour over the rest of the sauce. And just make sure that you boil your cabbage so that the leaves are really nice and tender. Otherwise, you'll run into a problem when you try to roll them. They'll start breaking up on you. So sometimes 5 minutes is enough, sometimes 7 minutes. You just want to make sure you're checking the outer leaves. It should be pretty soft. All right, so my oven's preheating for a different recipe. You're going to have to wait to see what that is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to partially cover this, just leave a little bit of open area here for the steam to escape, and I'm going to cook these on medium-low heat for about an hour or until they're super soft, and that's it. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. My cabbage rolls have been cooking for about an hour. Oh wow, I've been checking on these and they're nice and tender. So I'm going to serve one up for moi, so that you can see what it looks like. Gonna get some of that sauce. I'm gonna take some of these and bring, my father-in-law lives like right around the corner from us, so I'm gonna take some of those, pack them up and bring them over there tonight, because there's a few too many for just the two of us. Oh yes, look at that. Now I know a lot of recipes call for putting the rice raw into the mixture. I have tried that, but I stick to Susan's recipe only because I have tried with the raw rice and I just don't feel like it cooks enough. It just remains really crunchy and I don't like that. So I cook the rice ahead of time. Let's give this a nice bite. It's gonna be hot. I'm so nervous. That pot has, the heat is off and it's still boiling. That's how hot this is. That is dynamite. Wow, is that delicious. Yum. All right, I'm gonna go back in for more. If you want to get this recipe, you know where to find it, www.laurenaKitchen.com. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me. Now get rolling on making some of these cabbage rolls. They're really, really, really super good. Promise. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.